A stress-free Packers game? In this economy? Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to an episode of Podcast, a podcast where you don't have a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. No, seriously, this was the least stressed I've been watching a Packers game since it's been a while. Grossi, and today we are going to be breaking down the Green Bay Packers win over the Arizona Cardinals with a score of 34-13. And what a game this was for the Packers. Heading into this week, they had a win against the Rams last week and got a little bit close at the end. Cardinals, they just beat up a beat-up 49ers team, and we know with Kyler Murray and James Conner, they can run the ball very well. And there was definitely an, oh God, can our rush defense actually stop the run here? And the answer was yes. Yes, it can, because the Green Bay Packers had a complete football game today, and it was amazing to watch this team fire on all cylinders. Starting with the man, the myth, the legend, one Jordan Love, who had an incredible day today, went 22 for 32, 258 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 0 sacks. A huge shout out to the offensive line who kept Jordan Love clean nearly the entire day. And that 1 interception that he had wasn't even really Jordan Love's fault. Bo Melton went out for a pass and just slipped on the grass, and unfortunately, the ball was then sailed over Bo Melton as he fell, and it was intercepted. This was a crazy stat that was tweeted out by Wes Hodkowitz. Shout out, Wes. But Jordan Love, with his 4 TD performance, which has now happened in back-to-back weeks, it's the first time since Brett Favre in 1995 that a Packers quarterback has thrown 4 touchdowns in back-to-back home games. That's a crazy stat. And considering some of the throws that Jordan Love has been making these past few weeks, you could definitely see the Brett Favre comparisons. I mean, look at one of the touchdowns he threw to Romeo Doubs, in which he has pressure right in his face. He just leans back and goes, oh, screw it, he's down there somewhere. And Romeo makes a great catch, comes back for the ball, and also has the footwork to get in and score a touchdown. So Jordan Love, who, by the way, is second in touchdown passes this year, and the fact that he hasn't played for 2 games is pretty damn crazy. And considering these past few weeks, we even had people going, is Jordan Love even good? Yeah, I'd say he's pretty freaking fracking good. On top of that, the run game, which has been phenomenal for the Packers this season. Josh Jacobs, 18 for 62, also caught 3 passes for 28 yards. The Packers rushed the ball a total of 38 times for 179 yards, which creates a hell of a balanced offense. I mean, when you have 250 yards passing and 179 yards rushing, that's a damn good day. Leading receivers, Christian Watson, welcome back from an injury. 3 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown, and it was a beautiful touchdown on a post route. You had Jaden Reed, 6 for 28, and also a touchdown. And Romeo Doubs coming back. 3 catches, 2 of them for touchdowns for a total of 49 yards. You also saw the team embrace Romeo Doubs after he caught that first touchdown. Christian Watson comes over for a hug, and the whole offense comes over and hugs him. They're hyping him up on the sideline. There was the Packers locker room video that came out of them hyping him up. Jair Alexander told Romeo Doubs that he was going to get 2 touchdowns before the game. And listen, the Romeo Doubs situation is a bit of a confusing one. We, the public, still don't know all the information, and I know that Romeo's dealing with something, and I just hope for the best for Romeo. He's back. The team is embracing him. Romeo had a hell of a game. We missed him last week, and I'm just so happy that 87 is back, and he had this kind of game. So a hell of a day from the offense. On top of that, the defense, unfortunately, they also did not get any sacks. And that pass rush, while Rashawn Gary did have some pressure and stuff like that, that is the one thing that is a bit consistent over these past few weeks. That is a bit of a problem, that we're really not able to bring down the quarterback a whole lot. However, besides that, things were beautiful. 3 forced fumbles, recoveries from Kenny Clark. You had Carl Brooks and Jair Alexander. Evan Williams has his second great game. He had a great game last week and was getting a ton of buzz. He punched one out as well and forced a fumble. Unfortunately, we had no interceptions in this game, which means that the Xavier McKinney streak has come to an end. A moment of silence, please. X gonna take it from you. But the defense had a great game plan. They only allowed a total of 89 rushing yards from the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, 22 for 32, 214 yards, only 1 touchdown, and held him to only 14 rushing yards. And again, this was the concern heading into this game of how effective the Cardinals' rushing attack is. And the fact that Packers were able to hold them to this, pretty damn good. Trey McBride was their leading receiver, 8 for 96. Now, taking a look at the special teams, that's where there's a little bit to be desired here. Nixon had a 39-yard punt return, which is his career high, so that was really good. I imagine also, especially because he had that scare with Jaden Reed, that Nixon might be returning a few more of those punts back there. But Narveson went 2 for 3 on the day, 4 for 4 on extra points, and unfortunately has 5 missed field goals now this season, which is the most in the NFL. And I know, fans, this is driving you insane. It's driving me insane. We have seen this before, special teams getting in the way or not being up to par and costing the Packers games, and that is going to ultimately be a problem. The other issue is that who do you bring in? Do you bring back Anders Carlson? Do you make a trade for a kicker? Because Greg Joseph, who we let go, he'd been playing pretty well for the Giants. He missed 2 field goals tonight. And so unfortunately, we might have to ride this out for a bit unless the Packers decide to go, hey, we're either going to make a trade for a kicker, which I don't know if they're going to do, or they're just going to bring in more competition. But either way, while Narveson went 4 for 4 and 2 for 3, he does have to get better because 5 missed field goals, that's going to cost you games in the NFL, like it did against the Vikings a couple weeks ago. This was also a big game for Matt LaFleur, as tweeted out by Aaron Nagler. This was Matt LaFleur's 60th career win. He is the second fastest active head coach behind Mike Tomlin to reach 60 wins, so a big shout out to Matt LaFleur here. And on top of that, this was also a brotherly game in which you had Bo Melton, the Green Bay Packers wide receiver, going up against rookie Max Melton, who was just drafted by the Cardinals this year. I had a chance to talk to Max Melton during the Combine, and they exchanged jerseys at the end. So just some nice familial bonds in this game. And taking a look, while this is a great game for the Packers, at the division as a whole, oh boy, the NFC North, for the first time since 2002, all 4 teams have at least 4 wins through 6 weeks. That's right. All of them have winning records. Caleb Williams and the Bears, they look good against the Jaguars. And the Lions blew out the Cowboys. And even though they lost Aiden Hutchinson, who I just hope he is able to have a swift recovery. I know he's going to be out for the year for a tragic injury. And the best to him. The Lions are still a really damn good football team. And the Vikings, who were on a bye, they didn't lose either. It seems like every NFC North team that's going to have a bye this season is going to have to deal with a whole lot of winning rivals when they're away. And so now the Packers, their next game is against the Houston Texans, which I'm going to be very honest, I was excited before the season for this game, and now the anticipation is even higher. Unfortunately, it's a noon game central at Lambeau, but this should be a great test for this Packers team. The Strouds are a really good football team. Their defense is nasty. Their pass rush is crazy. The offensive line is going to need to be at its best. And of course, yes, CJ Stroud and all the weapons that come along with him. So this is going to be a challenging game for the Packers, being played at Lambeau in their winter warning jerseys. And I cannot wait to see it because it's going to be a great test to see just how good the Packers are. And as we start getting later into the season, you're going to start to see more and more divisional matchups against the Bears, against the Lions. And that will be the real test to see who will be the kings of the NFC North this season. But overall, a great game for the Packers in all phases. Offense is great. Defense was great. Special teams can be better, but passable. And now we await the Strouds. But let me know what you think about this game down in the comments below. How do you feel about this win? How do you feel about the Packers at 4-2 right now? Because I'm not going to lie, I'm feeling pretty good. But let me know. You know, I saw me at TomGrossiComedy.com or at TomGrossiComedy, all social media, see down below. A big shout out and thank you to all the YouTube members and Patreon members for supporting this channel. And thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.